Hi, I'm Dr. Khan. So, as I was saying, what happens to the children in substance abuse in families with substance abuse? What happens to them? Okay, so some of the siblings develop codependency issues, and some of the siblings start developing narcissistic tendencies. Okay, so some of the siblings, like I said, codependent tendencies start shutting down, disconnecting with themselves. And the siblings with the narcissistic issues start developing bad habits like drug use, alcohol use, whatever use, because they never got validated by the parents who only felt that honor and fame and living out their programming and being busy was everything. So now those children start showing those tendencies. Okay? So now let's see what happens next. Now let's look at how this cycle continues. Okay? You see the programming from society, culture, family upbringing, to how the parents dealt with their family by becoming very controlling and making honor everything and fame and competition everything in the family. Then you have the siblings who start developing codependency issues and narcissistic issues. And now let's see what happens thereafter. So now you have a sibling who is addicted to drugs. Now the parent, because they don't want to bring shame to the family, they don't get this sibling, this family member, this offspring, basically, the help that he or she needs. They make excuses, they enable, and it's so sad. Then you have the other siblings basically in the background, getting lost in the background, and the parent is basically busy raising this child with addiction issues. So now the other sibling that's the codependent starts basically relating life, learning how to deal with life by becoming passive aggressive. They start standing up and getting angry, but then they get shunned by the mom or dad. Oh, don't talk about it because it's going to bring shame to the family. Don't. Or they just shut down completely, and they kind of basically sway between those two. And that's how the passive aggressive cycle develops in this codependent individual. So it's such a bad cycle. So what ends up happening is the parents don't get the help because of the shame and embarrassment that it may bring to the family, that this child that could have gotten the help he needed or she needed, they don't get the help. Then you have other siblings becoming codependent, developing passive-aggressive cycles in their life. Now let's continue this cycle. Let's see what happens next. Then these individuals start attracting other narcissistic individuals in their life because, again, you attract what you're used to. So they start attracting other individuals who don't see them, who have a lot of dysfunction in them. And it just becomes this very enmeshed, chaotic dysfunction in these families. And it's really sad. It's really sad, where you can just get the help and understand that we're human and honor isn't everything. And people make mistakes, and it's okay. We're human. So what's the solution? What's the solution in this family dynamic before it gets worse? Sadly to say, if you're a child in this type of family dynamic, it's really hard for you to get help because you are a child and you don't know anything about it. When you're an adult, or if you're watching this and you're an adolescent, you can get help. Or if you know children in these families and you're an extended family member, get them help. So what is the help? Number one, you have to understand that the faulty programming that has occurred, that honor isn't everything. That honor isn't everything. That we are human and our kids are going to make mistakes. They might develop addictions. We need to validate them. We need to get them help. We need to stop contributing to this sick cycle. We need to stop contributing to any family members that enable this. So saying no to family functions, not going there, who promote this, who allow this type of thinking. We understand that whoever this narcissistic family that you may have now with narcissistic tendencies and codependent tendencies, you have to understand that when you start basically trying to distance yourself, you're basically going to rock the boat, because remember, this has been a cycle that's been going on for a long time. So when you try to pull yourself out, what ends up happening is they will react and they will try very hard to suck you back in. You need to hold on to yourself. You need to get a big support system, call your friends, and hold on to yourself. You have to understand and see what tools they use to suck you in. So they might use guilt, old triggers, anger. They may use your own children as a way to get you back in and pull you back in. So you really, really, again, need to understand. Let's review. How do we stop this cycle? What's the solution? Number one, understand the programming that's occurred. Okay? Number two, understand that you need to stop contributing to the cycle. You need to pull yourself out of the hamster wheel of dysfunction. You need to pull yourself out. And you have to understand that when you do pull yourself out, you're going to rock the boat, because now this cycle is going to fluctuate a little bit. So they will try very hard to suck you back in. And when that happens, understand what tools they will use to get you back in. They will try their very best and use guilt. They will use your old triggers. They will use anger. They will use your children. So be very aware of all that. Lastly, get a support system. Start reading the right books, praying, and healing. Start journaling, and this is how you will start healing. And teach your own kids that honor isn't everything. Start developing healthier ways to interact with your children, validate them. You start healing. Start connecting with your old self, your 6-year-old self. Forgive that child, that child in you, that it wasn't your fault, that you didn't get the attention or validation that you needed, that there was so much chaos in your life. Start connecting to that person and understanding that life is a test, and you understand that awareness and challenges, you get through challenges by awareness, and that's it. I hope this helps. I know it was a very in-depth talk, but you just have to understand how in-depth this cycle goes, where it starts, where it continues to, and continues, and continues, and continues until you stop it, until you really stop it. Because I am telling you right now, drug and alcohol abuse is becoming more and more prevalent in Muslim communities. It's becoming an epidemic that no one talks about. And then you see these families in court, but they're like hiding. They're shameful because, oh my goodness, someone's gonna see us. Someone's gonna see us in the community. And it's so sad because the sibling that's actually with the drug issue suffers. The other siblings suffer. The parents suffer. And it's just plain dysfunction. So I really hope this helps you guys. And you really, really do start looking into this and understand that the prophets had problems. They had family issues. And they got the help. You know, don't ignore it. Don't enable it. Don't enable it. Get the help. Get your children the help that they need. Get yourself the help that you need. I sincerely wish you all lots of blessings and lots of positivity, good health, and awareness of the faulty programming that has occurred and is ruining so many Muslim families, family units. And I hope you can share this with others and teach your kids what's right and what's wrong and show them the love and give them the love that they need. Take care. Bye. Assalamu alaikum.